Hey everyone! Welcome to episode 19 of my show and tell. My name is Claudie, and thank you for joining me. Before I get started into the rest of the episode, I just want to say a huge congratulations and best wishes and all that good stuff to my friend Addie, who got married yesterday. She and I started talking and everything because of this channel and Instagram. So I just want to say congratulations to her because I know she watches still, and yeah. I'm really excited for her, and I just, want to share the excitement. The fact that I have been able to, make friends with people who I probably never would have met any other way is amazing. Just the fact that that's even a possibility is awesome. So, yeah, I don't want to start gushing too much, but I just, I love interacting with you guys. It's just the best. So, yay. Okay. Let's see. What else will I be talking about today? I've got some finished things to show you. I've got some stuff that I am working on, one of which I have never shown you before. I don't think. Pretty sure I cast it on after the last episode. And I bought some stuff and other things that have been going on, I don't know, narwhals and drag queens. Drag queens and narwhals. There we go. Maybe that's what I'll call the episode. Sometimes I come up with the name beforehand, and sometimes it just comes out. So yeah. Okay. So I'll talk more about the life stuff, I guess, at the end, and we'll just go ahead and sort of dive right into the meat of the show, the finished items. Okay. So the first finished item that I have are the Roll City rollers. And, oh, there you go. Let's see if I can get it in the frame. The Roll City rollers, there are two of them. As you can see, I have a different, this is not the same as this. I was using Knit Picks Felici in Highland. This was the leftover bits that I had after making my mom's socks. And I just used up all that I had. And then when I got to the point where I didn't have any more, I switched over to Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in Ash. It's this really pretty gray color. I had bought it for heels and toes specifically, so I just was like, well, even though it's not probably the best color combination, I think it's okay. I had some navy too, and I kind of thought about that, but anyway, it doesn't matter. These are just sort of for lounging around the house. As you can see, they are very short. On me, these are, these hit me at about the spot where a no-show sock would. You know what I'm talking about, the ones that you wear with athletic shoes sometimes. They do stay on pretty well. The only issue I'm having, and I had this with the last pair of socks I made for myself too, is this part here. I don't know what this is actually called. I don't know if this is the instep or whatever, but this measurement here. So when I put them on, it is very tight right there. I have to kind of struggle to get them over my heel. But then once they're there, they do fit. But it's still a little tight right at the top of my foot, where my foot and my ankle join up. I think what I might have to do is maybe add in an extra stitch or two or four there. I'm not sure. I've not been making socks that long, so if you have any suggestions, that's great. There are a couple of sock books that I'm probably gonna pick up to sort of help. But the first pair of knitted socks I made, they came out fine, but I did use a different needle size, so I think that's probably it. I used US 1 2.25 millimeter needles, and then on the last ones, or the first ones I ever made, I used 2.5s. And I think that's what it is. I think they're just a little too snug, so either I need to add more stitches or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But they do fit fine, and I have not blocked them yet, so they might expand just a little bit. I find that after I wash them, they're not as or my other ones, when I wash them, they're not as snug, but I can still kind of feel it pulling. The other ones had a different heel on it too. Speaking of the heel, this one uses a slip stitch heel flap, and with a heel turn. And I have never done the heel turn quite like this before. It was similar, but it's the numbers were all, different. And I like the way this one sits on my heel a little better. I also did a different toe. I did the rounded toe versus the, I guess, the square toe. So you can see, take it off the sock blocker here. See how it's rounded? See, I'm gonna put it in front of my face. There you go. See how it's rounded, like on the edges, as opposed to like straight. And the other ones I've made have been, you know, straighter, and then they have like a wider, like you leave more at the end to Kitchener together. These fit, the toes fit so much better than the other ones. They weren't like bad before. It was just that they had like these little point floppy things that on the one side of my toes, it kind of like just hung out where it shouldn't have been. My toes are almost like the front of my foot doesn't come to like a point or anything like that. The front of my foot, you know, my toes don't come to a point really. They are almost all the same length except like the last two toes kind of come in just a little bit. And from the pattern, it said that, or maybe it wasn't the pattern, or maybe it was something else I was reading. Something said that if your toes are sort of all the same length or close to the same length, that a rounded toe works better. So it does work better on me. So I'll be probably doing that from now on, unless like I'm using a specific pattern and I don't feel like changing. Yeah, these are fun just for around the house. I recommend the pattern to you, and I recommend if you've never wore wool socks, you totally should. They are so much warmer, amazingly. Like I've been wearing, I mean, I've only got like now 3 pairs for myself, so I can't wear them all the time, but I have been wearing them as much as possible. I've not worn these yet, so I actually have a pair on right now. I've got the first one I made, the Hermione's Everyday Socks on. I've got this on now. But you should totally try them. You can crochet socks too. I think that's, you know, that's totally a possibility, or you can buy wool socks, whatever you want. Here's the pattern. Oh no. There you go. There's the pattern. It is by Mara Catherine Briner. It's the Roll City Rollers. Okay. I'm sorry about the glare. I know that there was a little bit of glare there. Yeah, so I mean that's what happened. I really think that, I don't know, I really like making socks, and I like wearing them. I like wearing them more than making them. Well, that's not true. Our floor is cold in the winter. We don't have a basement or anything. It's just like a slab foundation, and we don't have heated floors. So yeah, it gets kind of cold. Anywho, let's see here. What's the next thing that I have? Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get all that ready. The next finished item that I have is the, it's called, I believe oh no. It's called Megan's Hat by Yarning for Sanity. And it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And it's really cute, so I'm going to show you the pattern. Gotta move over here to get it. Oh, I need to buy a styrofoam one because Matilda here is heavy. So here, let me scoot more close. There you go. Isn't that pretty? It looks kind of like a cable hat, a little bit like a knit cable hat. I apologize, I don't know if you can hear that. The garbage truck is driving by. What you do is you use puff stitches here, and then the other, which way we're going here, the other ones are front post double crochets. So yeah, it's a really easy pattern once you get into it. Like once you are at the point where you don't have to increase anymore, you really don't have to look at the pattern anymore. So and then really once you figure out how she's kind of doing the increases, you probably don't have to look at the pattern anymore anyway. here's the crown. I did somehow mess up on the crown, I think. She doesn't, that picture that I showed you is the only picture that she has on the project, for the project, or for the pattern page. And I went through the other project pages, and some of them look like mine and some of them look different. And I read the pattern, and I assume that I messed up somewhere, but I'm not sure where, because I think I did everything correctly. But you can see, okay, so you can see how these sort of look, right? And I think she calls them V puff stitches in the pattern when there's two of them together. So you can see it's like that, but you can see here, it's like this should be right here, not this. And then these should be, you know, over there next to it. So I think if I make the hat again, I'm going to, if I didn't just misread the pattern, I'm going to slip stitch over to where that's where I would start, or just change the pattern to that's where I would start. It does look quite seamless. You can't really see, let me see, I'm trying to see if I can find where I bound off. Right here. So this is the side that I bound off on, and you can't see a line, at least not when it's on, and I really couldn't see it anyway. This hat does something new that I've ever done. It uses an elongated single crochet stitch, and I've been crocheting a long time, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever used that stitch before, so it was really interesting. I like the fabric that it creates, so I might do just a quick video showing how to do it, because I just found it interesting. And I really like the pattern it makes, and I kind of think, I was like, ooh, you could like cross stitch into that really well. But yeah, so there's the hat. Okay, so I took it off of Matilda because she's getting heavy. But you can see it's such a pretty hat. When I was going through the project pages, someone made a comment on the fact that like this part is very open, and you can see me through it, right? A little bit. And she gave some instructions on how to make it to where the spaces weren't as large. So I think I might, if I make it again, might follow that as well, just to see if that makes a difference. The hat is nice. It does fit me, but it's kind of tight. I have a large head, and I can't remember what size she says that will fit, and I don't have measuring tape in front of me right now. I found a ruler, so let's see how big this is. Unstretched, it is 9.5 inches, so that's like 19 in circumference, maybe a little bit bigger. And it does have, you know, it does stretch just a little bit, but not a lot. So I think that while I initially did make this for myself, because of the way it fits, I think I'll either have to use a larger crochet hook for the ribbing. She has you use an E, which is, I don't have it here with me, do I? No, I don't have it with me, but that's what, a 3.75 millimeter, I believe. It's small, and I think maybe if I did like an F, it probably would have fit a little bit better on my head, but I think on most people's head it would fit fine. It fit on her, on Matilda over here, so I guess it'll be okay. Since it doesn't quite work for me, I'm either going to give this as a gift or donate to charity. I'm just a little worried about the holes at the top. Maybe I can, you know, get like a store-bought, just like regular knit type of beanie hat and pair it with it or something. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so that's it for now. I do like it though. Oh, and the yarn I used. Let's talk about the yarn. Oh, and the other hook, you use an H, which I can't remember the millimeter size on that one as well. I should keep like a list so that like taped up on the wall, so that way when I'm talking to you guys and I forget and I don't have it with me, I can talk about it. Actually, the H is a 5 millimeter because it says on the wrapper here. Okay, sorry I had a little bit of a cough attack there. The yarn I used is Caron Simply Soft, and the color is Pagoda. The camera is not going to focus on the name of it, but it is Pagoda. And of course, you know, it's Caron Simply Soft. It's really nice to work with. Soft. There you go. Um, and that's, I believe that's actually the yarn that she called for in the pattern. I had that skein left over from another hat that I made. So I used up everything I had. And I can't remember in the pattern, let's see, 1, 2. I did 6 rows of the ribbing, and I can't remember how many she told you to do in the pattern, but I just used it until I ran out of yarn. So, or ran out of yarn at a full refeed or full round. Yeah, so I mean, it was really, really easy. And I recommend the pattern. Did I show you? I showed you a picture already. So I think that that's, yeah, there you go. That's a hat. The only other thing that I finished is actually this heart banner behind me, which I know you can't see really well, and I'm not going to get up and get it. Because I just don't feel like taking it down from there. And also, I'm going to be making a video about it specifically. I'm going to do a tutorial video on it. So I'll just show that to you next time, or whenever the video comes out. Yeah, it's really simple, and right now I just got it hanging in the background because it's almost Valentine's Day in, what, 3 weeks? So, yeah. And I know Valentine's Day is crazy, commercialized nonsense sometimes, but, I mean, who doesn't like hearts? I like hearts, so there we go. What else? Well, I did finish some test stuff. I'm working on some baby blanket patterns, and I did test swatches. Ooh. So I've got that. My desk is kind of covered in stuff at the moment. Okay, let's move on to my works in progress. I only have 2. One is my spinning that I can't remember if I showed you last time or not. I've not done a whole lot on it, but I have made some progress. I've been spinning a little bit more. I'm just turning it upside down like you can see it. There it is there. It's very, very pretty. The fiber and the spindle are both by Turtle Made. And it's much lighter now, the roving is. I still have a lot left. Let's see. Let's pull it out. There we go. I think I pulled it out last time. So that's about how much I have left. I'm not weighted, so I don't know how much that is. I would say, I mean, I'm probably at least halfway through. Hopefully. That's probably wishful thinking. This is 2 ounces of 4 that I have. So I have a long way to go. If I had a spinning wheel, it would go so much faster. I know it would, but, I enjoy working with the Turkish spindle, so I'm not, complaining, but anyway. It's living in my Kicks and Giggles, Harry Potter bag of stuffs. It's the one that has the pattern that has all of the spells on it, like Augmentium, Wingardium Leviosa, and Impedimenta, and all that stuff. Lumos. So, yeah, and it's by Kicks and Giggles, and it's satin lined, so that way your fiber doesn't stick, which is nice. It's quite nice, actually. And then the other thing that I'm working on, and let me get the pattern pulled up here real quick. I'm using my phone this time, so that way you don't have to watch me be really bad at holding up my my tablet because it weighs like a bajillion pounds. Yeah, so I'm trying to find the best picture. It's called Flaming June, and it's by Cheryl Namath. And I believe, yes, I showed you the swatch I did last time. So here it is. Well, let's see. Let me see if I can get the angle on that one better. There you go. So you can see the bottom comes down to points there, and she does it in a color blocking kind of thing. It's a bottom up sweater. It's I guess it's not pieced because it's done mostly, everything except for the sleeves are done the same time, I guess. I've never done a sweater like this before, so I think once I get to the point where the sleeves come into play, I'm probably going to not know what in the world's going on. According to some of the stuff I read on other people's project pages and on the forums and stuff, they are saying that once you get to that point, the pattern isn't as descriptive as they would have hoped. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It also has this little detail on the sleeve, which, you know, I'm nowhere near getting to that point, but you can see it's got that little point there. I am calling mine Freezing January because it's cold still. I left the burr up on the whiteboard, and unfortunately you're not going to be able to see it really well because I'm using shorter needles than, and they're actually stuck in there. I'm using shorter needles than you know, than it is wide. So anyway, let's see. I'll pull this up here. So that's what it looks like. It's basically you do some stockinette and with the garter ridge. Stockinette, garter ridge. And that's how it is worked the entire time. And then you can see I've got little points here. Yeah. I am using Knit Picks Hawthorne fingering in the kettle dyed, which I think that they only have the one weight of that particular dye technique so far. But it's really, I really am enjoying it. There is some purling because of the way the pattern is. I mean, it's a free pattern on Knitty, so I'm not really giving anything away. But because of the way it's done, the way that the pattern is done, so it's a 6-row repeat, and 2 of those rows are purling. So it's at least not half. That's what I'm telling myself. Oh, and at the beginning you do, I chose to do, was it seed stitch? Yeah, seed stitch. So, you know, it's coming along. I hopefully will have it done one day. Maybe before winter. I've not been working on it that much. I've only been doing maybe a couple of rows at a time because my hands have been kind of, with the cold, they get kind of, they're not super happy. And also I was working on the socks to try to finish them. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. Oh, I did change the pattern a little bit so far. Instead of doing the pattern calls for, I think, a hemp yarn, and because I'm using a wool yarn, I have to kind of do things differently because it wants to roll. You can see it wants to roll up on itself. You know, it does. Like, it just wants to, like, live rolled up in a ball. And that's fine that it wants to do that, but I'm going to fight that. And I wasn't sure what to do. So what I decided to do, because I wasn't 100% sure, I just did a provisional cast on. I did the crocheted cast on, where it's basically you take one of your needles and a crochet hook, and I think the crochet hook should be like a couple sizes bigger than your needle, millimeter wise, and then your yarn, and basically you just use your crochet hook to make crochet chains, except that the needle is caught in that chain. So yeah, and I also put in a lifeline. That's what this thing is. I put in a lifeline just in case because I'm not super great. This is not the first provisional cast on I've done, but I have been known to, when you go to pull out the provisional cast on, I have been known to drop stitches. So I was like, I'll just put the provisional cast on in and put the lifeline in and not worry about it. And actually I did the lifeline on the next row. So I did the provisional cast on, and then when I knit the next row, or the first row in this instance, when I knit that, I put the provisional cast on in. And I think it's going to have a seed stitch border too. So hopefully that will work out. That's the plan. That's the plan. I am at the point in the pattern where I would need to switch colors. However, I'm not sure what I want to do about the about the colors. So this, if I were following the pattern, this would be it for the black, for the darker color. This would be it. Um, and I kind of think I want to use up some more of the yarn. I have more of it. I've got, how much do I have left of this? I've got quite a bit of this skein left. You can see like it's, you know, quite a bit of it left. And I also have 2 other skeins in this dye lot and then another one in another dye lot. And I'm kind of thinking about following a one of the people on their pattern pages did more striping and versus the color blocking, and I think I might just do exactly what she did because I like the way it looks. I mean, obviously the girl in the picture, like the girl who made it, is like, you know, a skinny little thing, but I just like the way it looks, so I'm gonna probably do that. And if I hate it, then I hate it. But at the same time, I'm like, I could just be done with the color blocking. I could be done with it, and then I wouldn't have to change the yarn as much. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Here's the other yarn that I'll be using, and this is the same Knit Picks Hawthorne kettle dye. This one is Slate. Oh, and the black is Blackbird, but this is Slate and Blackbird. It's very pretty, and I really like working with it. The only thing is the black, the dye comes off just a little bit on my finger when I'm, you know, knitting with it, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Right now, it is living in my my bag from Erin. Give Me Yarn 418, and I'm trying to get. Okay, it's just it doesn't want to go back in there. This is like her. I think she called it like woodland creatures or something like that. But it's, you know, kind of like a raccoon and a fox and a beaver and a chipmunk and some mushrooms, and it's just really cute. It's the it was the oh, it's got polka dots on the inside too. I love polka dots. This was the bag that I had closest to me that would hold 2 skeins of yarn. So I just put that in there, and then I was like, oh, once it gets bigger, I'll change it to another bag at that point. But so far, that's where it's living. All right, so that's all I have on the needles or the hooks. That's all I'm working on, or the spindle, I guess. I will be casting on another pair of socks. I finished these last night. I Kitchenered them and woven the ends right before I went to bed. So I did not have time to cast on another pair. I kind of have this goal of maybe like always having a pair of socks in progress because I love them so much. Okay, so now let's talk about what I bought. I did not buy that much. I am on a yarn buying ban. Claire, Bob Wilson, 123 here on YouTube, and Erin, Give Me Yarn 418 here on YouTube. They are hosting a yarn ban along. I think that's what Erin's calling it. And I think Claire called it something else, but they're hosting basically like if you can get through the end of January or the end of February without buying yarn, that's the goal. At least. So, I'm in for that. The only problem is my birthday's in February. You know I love yarn. So I'm trying to be good. My husband, you know, there's a possibility he might buy me yarn. I mean, gifts don't count towards the ban. I mean, I've not personally bought any, but I feel like, you know, I don't know. I feel weird about it. Like, I feel like in a yarn ban, I shouldn't have any yarn coming in. I guess I'm just being like a weird stickler about it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. There's only been there has been some yarn that I really, really want, and I'm telling myself like it'll still be there. It'll still be there when you want it. It's not going to go anywhere except that it might. I really want some of the Arnie and Carlos Regia yarn. I never used Regia. I think it's Regia. I feel like everyone pronounces it Regia, but I think it's actually Regia. I mean, because it's German. Anyway, I'm not sure. But Regia, whatever. I've never used that yarn before. And also, like, I just really, really like the colors that they're used. So and I think they just came out with their third line of it, and I like the older lines better. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be all gone by the time I actually can buy it. So I mean, yeah. I do have a shopping cart with that yarn in it. I've not bought it. I promise I've not bought it yet, but I have been talking about it a lot to my husband, so he might buy it for me. Anyway, let's not talk about stuff I've not bought, and let's talk about stuff that I actually have bought. I mentioned this to you last time, and it had not shown up. It came like pretty much right after the podcast. I have already started uploading the podcast, so anyway, I bought a narwhal bag. Narwhals. This is from the Fat Squirrel Fibers. Can you see that? With her tag. This is her sock size bag, and you can see it looks stitched. Ooh, the light kind of got dark. There you go. Oh no, I don't know why it does that when I do that. But you can see it looks sort of embroidered, and I mean it's just fabric, but it does look embroidered, and I think it looks really cute. It's very wintry, and it has narwhals. The inside of fabric is this really cute sort of winter themed embroidered cross stitchy kind of fabric. Let's see, can you see that? It's really pretty. It matches color wise and stuff really, really well. Yeah. It's not interfaced. Her bags are not I think sometimes she does interface them, but I don't think she does for sock size bag. So you can kind of, at least from my angle because the light's back there, you can kind of see through it a little bit. Like if I hold it up, not see through it, but like there's light coming through it. Yeah, I had to have it because it's narwhals, and just had to. I had to. There really was no other option. She puts these little handles on all of her bags, which I love. They're on a little swivel clasp, so you can see like they swivel. I think I actually have some of these that I bought for when I was doing a purse project a long time ago. But anyway, I really, really like it. And then she just uses some of the fabric. This is some of the lining fabric. I think on my other ones she's used the outside fabric. But anyway, very, very happy with it. And my next pair of socks is going to go live in this. I just have not figured out exactly which pair I want to make yet. Or with what yarn. I have to do that. And then there was a little bit of sadness there's been a lot of sadness actually since the last time I recorded, but I'm not crying, I promise. I just have sorry about that. Yeah, I just had something attacking my eyeball. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, there has been a lot of sadness since the last time I recorded. A lot of famous people have passed away, as well as I'm sure a lot of not famous people. David Bowie passed away, and I feel like all the people who passed away died from cancer. All the famous people who passed away died from cancer, which is just it's like everyone. Okay, it seems weird timing, but I guess there's never really good timing for something like that. But anyway. So David Bowie passed away, and that was very sad. A lot of people were, from what I could see on Facebook and Instagram and everything, people were really upset. And then Snape died, and by Snape I mean Alan Rickman. I don't associate him only with Snape. It's because of something I got sitting right here. But he was in Die Hard. He was really good in Die Hard. I think that was the first movie he ever did. And I think that was the first one I ever saw, because I saw Die Hard. I don't know if I saw it in the theaters or when it came out on VHS, because this was the olden days. But I know I've seen it. I saw it soon after it came out, or soon after it was released. He was in Love Actually. He did not play a very great person in that movie. But that movie is one of my favorites, and also he was in Dogma. He played Metatron, the voice of God, in that movie. And Dogma is one of my favorite movies. Like it's one of my favorite movies. Um, and yeah, so it's just, uh, it's very sad. He had cancer. It's just like everybody he needs to stop. Like for real. Like I can't even. So, oh, and then Celine Dion's husband passed away, and then I think her brother passed away like the next day or something insane like that. It's like I cannot even imagine. Cannot imagine what she's going through. I mean, I've lost people, but I don't know. My husband and my brother, like that would be, I think, really insane. So anyway, I don't want to dwell too much on the sadness of it all, but Alan Rickman did pass away, and I was not feeling particularly great. So I was like, okay, well, should I do some retail therapy? Well, I think I'll just buy something that was on my list. That was on my list for a while. So I bought this. This is the reason I said Snape. I bought the Funko Pop Severus Snape. And while I was at, I have the Dumbledore one. I told you when I showed you that one that my husband kind of created a need to start collecting. When I bought that one, I went ahead and I've got the Dumbledore one. Did I mention that? I went ahead and I bought the Harry Potter one. There's also the Harry Potter one that he's wearing like the Quidditch robes. And on the back, it's got the ones that they have. I don't have all of them, obviously. I just have these 3. I bought one for my husband too. I got him Bender from Futurama. But I think he took that to work already. So he was really excited about it, and so yeah, I was very sad, and I was like, well, I've been wanting it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it. Not a big deal. I could have bought yarn, but yeah. So I bought that, and then I don't know. There's a lot of these little things that I would like to have, but I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to put them. I'll have to build a shelf or something, or like buy some bookcases, or I don't know. Just figure it out, I guess. But so I bought that or those, and I bought them from Barnes and Noble. That's the reason I bought 3 is because like you have to get free shipping, right? All right, so that's all I have bought. Or been thinking about buying. Let's see, what else has been going on? So let's just talk about the rest of the life thing. So I mentioned that Addie got married, and that was really exciting. Of course, I didn't get to go because she lives like, not anywhere near me at all. So, but I can live vicariously and just like wish her happy thoughts and stuff. So, what else? Let's see. I've got stuff listed out here. Oh, so I mentioned my heating and air conditioning system. I think we turned it back on, like the heat pump back on, once it warmed up a little bit, and it ran. I think I'm still have to get our guy out, but what we've been doing is just when it gets like anywhere remotely cold, we've just been like blow cold. We've been turning it over to the emergency heat and just not letting the heat pump run, which is different than the first year that we had it, which was last year. Last winter, because we didn't have to really worry about it too much, and now we do, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I know like when it gets really cold, it shouldn't be able to do anything, but it wasn't that cold. Anyway, but I just wanted to update that because I was talking about that. Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but like this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that, my husband stayed home. He worked from home that day. Which was the first time he's ever worked from home. They were testing out inclement weather because of the whole like snowstorm that's been happening. They wanted to make sure that like he would be able to work from home if he if something happened, so that way they at least have someone to go through and get to the important stuff. So it was interesting because he was over there working and I was over here working, and it was interesting. I don't know if I would want him to work at home every day, but it wouldn't be too bad. It would happen every once in a while. Hopefully it's not for reasons like 30 inches of snow or something crazy soft like that. Um, it's obviously been like winter everywhere except, well, I mean, I guess it's winter in the northern hemisphere, but it's, there's been a lot of snow in places. I live in northern Kentucky. We got maybe 2 inches over the 2 days that it snowed. So, and not like consecutive days. Like I think it snowed on Tuesday and then snowed on Friday or Saturday, whatever day it was. Um, However, my sister and my mom live about 2.5 hours like south from here, and they got I think like 18, 20 inches or something like that. Like it's a lot. Like my sister was showing, she took a bunch of pictures and stuff, and I mean it's just crazy how much snow they had. And I've of course see pictures from other people that I'm friends with on Facebook and that still live there, and like the roads are, I mean I don't know how they are today, but yesterday they were still atrocious. Like it was just like they were just bad. And um, the county that I lived in, it was that I went to high school in and everything. It's one of the larger counties and more populated counties, but it's it's still kind of not that well off, I guess. So it doesn't really surprise me that, and obviously it's a big county, so they have a lot to get to, and there are 2 or 3 major roads that kind of intersect through the town. So I'm sure we're trying to keep those clean, like cleaned off more than maybe the side roads and stuff, and like maybe the emergency roads to the hospital and all of that. But I mean, it's just insane. But I know we've had a lot of snow here. I don't know if we've ever had that much, but we have had a lot of snow here, and it does take a while, even though we live, um, not my street that I live on, but the street that like I live on the corner. So the street I live on is there's only 10 houses on it or whatever, so it's not like important. But the house next to me has a lot of houses, or the street next to me has a lot of houses on it. But there's also a fire station, like I don't know. If you go to the end of the block and you turn left, there's a fire station back there. Um, so they tend to keep that cleaned off because of in case the fire trucks need to come out that way. But, just a lot of snow. We, of course, didn't get very much, but I'm seeing, like, on Instagram, like, people in Pennsylvania. There's a couple people that I follow on Instagram. Crochet.knit Emily, I think she lives in Pennsylvania, and I think Jen loves yarn. Jen likes yarn. Oh my goodness, I can't remember her username now. Jen likes yarn. That's right. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Anyway, she has a YouTube channel here too, and I'm pretty sure she lives in not Philadelphia. She lives in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure, or thereabouts. Like I think she lives in that sort of region. I don't think they live. Pennsylvania's a pretty big state, so I'm not sure where they live inside there. But they both have posted pictures, and I think they got like over 30 inches like each. And I mean, it's just that's so much snow. So much snow. It's causing so much damage. And I mean, it's probably going to be there for a very long time because of the temperatures and everything. Speaking of the damage, oh my goodness, like, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, pictures that people have posted, but the ones back home where they did get quite a bit of snow, but they didn't get as much as some other places, but they got some ice. And so there's a lake, a marina, and all of that stuff down there. And I've been seeing pictures where like I guess like the tops where the boats pull in, like the roof, like it's just not meant to hold that much weight, and it just like collapsed sometimes onto the boats. I know somebody who lost a houseboat, like from the weight of everything, it sank it. Just crazy, crazy. But yes, hopefully this was it. Like, let's just all just say this. We don't need any more snow. We're good. I would have liked to have seen a little bit, to be honest, but it was fine. I got to live vicariously through my sister. She sent me tons of pictures, showed me like my niece playing in the snow for a little bit, you know, so I get to see that at least. Okay, so let's talk about something more fun. I went and saw a show. I went and saw Kinky Boots, and I have the playbill here. Playbill. So, super fun show. Oh my goodness. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. There were tons of drag queens, just beautifulness, like the outfits and the hair and just the whole set. I mean, it was fun. It was really, really fun. Without giving too much of it away, it's about a shoemaker who meets, I can't remember what his name is. A shoemaker who meets a drag queen named Lola who wants some kinky boots. And then like shenanigans and everything ensue. It's just really fun. The last part of it, like sort of at the finale, like the act 3, was just bright and awesome. And I have some of the songs stuck in my head. The songs are the music and everything was written by Cyndi Lauper. So, you know, if you know who Cyndi Lauper is and you know her music, it's sort of like that. It was just really, it's just really fun, and everybody seemed to be having a great time. You know, and I was a little tentatively worried that because of the content and the fact that like I live where I live, and some people here are super conservative and conservative bordering on, I just hate everyone who's not like me, which that doesn't necessarily mean that people who are conservative, you know, are all like that or anything, not even, but, you know, there's just been some, you know how the world is sometimes when you live in a town where, you know, sometimes they're maybe probably not accepting of drag queens. I don't know why that they wouldn't be, but, you know, it was really, really fun. And I was glad that everybody seemed to be having a great time. I know I did. My husband had a great time too. It's a fun show. The only thing was, like, it seemed like the first act, so like before intermission, ran long. And so, like, when they came back from intermission, it seemed like it was over, like that. So I was like, well, I mean, I get why they split it up that way, but I'm like, maybe they could have, I don't know, just trying to critique it, I guess. But, like, maybe they could have, taken out some of the material in the beginning and maybe extended the end part a little bit. I don't know, but it was really fun and I liked it. After we were done with the show, we went and had there was a burger place sort of on the block across the street, or diagonal across the street. There was a burger and beer place, so we went over there and had a burger. I had one. They called it the Brew Burger. And it was good, except I really didn't like the cheese that was on it. So I picked that off. It's no big deal. And then my husband got a pulled pork sandwich. When I saw the menu, I was a little worried because he's a very picky eater. And I was like, he's not gonna eat anything on this menu. Because he tends to like more simple, plain kind of dishes, and these were not. These were very dressed up dishes. So he basically got the pulled pork sandwich without anything on it except the pulled pork, which is fine. And I tasted a little bit of it, and it was good too. So it was fun. We had a really fun time. It was, however, really cold. I think that day the wind chill was like negative something. It was just so cold. And so we quickly walked back to the car, well, to the parking garage, and then got the car and went home. Because of the, you know, insane cold and snow and weather and all of that stuff, it's not been insane snow for us, but just because of how cold and just crappy it's been, we've pretty much just stayed inside. I'm not gonna go out. I'll go out for some drag queens, but I'm probably not gonna go out just to like be outside, because no. No. Like, I don't really want to have to worry about frostbite. And that was actually a warning that we had. So we have just been staying home. I've been watching Star Trek Voyager still. I will probably be done with it by the next time I record. I'm on season 6 now. Like I said, that's pretty much all I've been watching, really. And and I've had it on a lot because like I've been trying to finish projects and um, you know, just I've had it on just when I've been doing other stuff like cleaning and everything. So it's just been a lot of Netflix time. Um, but other than that, like we've played board games. We've been playing some board games because obviously we're at home, and why not play board games, right? I bought this one. It's fun. I did not bring it in here, unfortunately. If you guys want to see it, like to actually see what it looks like, I will bring it in next time. Let me know if you want to see it. But it's called Machi Koro, Machi space Koro, and it is a really really fun game. It has 2 expansion packs out now. I bought the deluxe version, which had the expansions in there, and it comes in a metal tin box. And it's I would recommend if you get the game to get the first expansion at least. It's called Harbor, I believe is the expansion name. The base game is fine, and I think if you were playing with kids, it would probably be okay. But when you're playing with like another person who is trying to win, like another adult who is trying to win, there's a clear strategy to win in the base game because of just how it is. But when they bring in the expansion and the rules for the expansion, it balances the game more. You could do it with the base game. You could balance it more. What it is in the expansion, they have you only pick out, like, so you shuffle all the cards and then you pick out, you only lay out 10 unique types of cards. So versus having like all of the cards available to you at all at once, which is how it's originally written. And that of course makes it easy to win because you know like well, if I just do this, as long as I don't get like the worst luck, I'll win. But the Harbor expansion, it definitely balanced it. We've not played the Millionaires Row expansion, which is the second expansion. We've not played that yet. It's a card game. Like it's cards and dice and then like little cardboard coins that you use to buy stuff. But basically you're building a city and you have these set of cards that how you win is you have these set of cards and the first person to be able to turn them all over to build them wins. And so you have to build the rest of your city to earn money to be able to afford to expand. So it's fun. I totally recommend it. It's not pretty much, it's not all we've been playing. We played like Dominion last night. Dominion Intrigue. We just played the Intrigue one. But, you know, it's been really fun. My husband has, you know, he's actually enjoyed playing board games, and I like these board games, or it's not really a board game because it's cards and there's no board, but you know what I mean. Just like those kind of games that come in a box. It's just been, we've had a lot of fun. The games are, you know, those are over in 30 minutes or less, so it doesn't take a lot of time, and it's not really a lot of setup or anything. So it's really fun. I recommend it. I can't remember what the ages are, but I would think, you know, I mean, at least like a 10-year-old probably. I'd have to check the ages that they recommend, but you know, it's not super complicated, and you know, it's fine. But yeah, it's been fun. Oh, but I have been talking for a very long time, so I'm going to wrap this up. And shush. So yes, I hope that you guys are staying warm. I hope that you are not snowed in, but if you are, I hope that you are, you know, snug and warm, and that you have lots of projects to work on, and yarn and TV and music and people that you enjoy. I hope that you are not stuck and snowed in on a first date like someone I know. Oh goodness. All I know is it's not going well. Well, that's not all I know. But yeah. So I hope that you are with people that you like being around, and that you know, are not in a place that you don't want to be in. Yeah. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.